I'm a grateful believer, recovering alcoholic addict, currently working on issues of integrity, anxiety, and an eating disorder. My name is Meg.
I struggle with codependency, people-pleasing, low self-esteem, and procrastination. My name is Kate.
I was introduced to Celebrate Recovery through a professional therapist who suggested that I continue with finding some kind of support group or a community of folks who could assist me along the way.
I found Celebrate Recovery when I was at the lowest point in my life. I had been unfaithful in my marriage. I had been keeping secrets from a young age.
I discovered Celebrate Recovery at the Towson Detention Center in March of 2015 while being confined there, awaiting a sentencing or waiting to go before the judge for a felony.
Before recovery, I was pastoring and I was trapped in an ongoing battle with pornography. And I felt totally trapped. I felt like I couldn't share it with anybody. The shame was overwhelming.
The thing I value most about Celebrate Recovery is that it's a non-judgmental place. I can come, I can be myself, I can struggle, and I can have people who love me enough to say, hey, you look like you're struggling this week, what's going on? You know, it's not just how are the O's and let's talk about the weather, it's real life.
I had built a wall around myself and was living in isolation. I felt like I was living a double life. And it was at that moment when I knew that life needed to change for me. And someone had invited me to come and see what Celebrate Recovery was all about.
The first night, I can still remember walking from the parking lot to the building, and it was a little bit intimidating. I came with a lot of fear, a lot of shame, a lot of trepidation, anxiety, not really knowing what to expect.
Before Celebrate Recovery, I was full of fear. I was always anxious. I was always trying to fix people. I wasn't me, I was everybody else.
The difference for me has been that I have not received judgment or criticism or questions about who I am, what I've been through, why I went through it. I'm just accepted as me.
And I don't know a single person who's come in here to look for recovery that hasn't felt a tremendous amount of shame or guilt or regret or self-debilitating kinds of things. And so now, after 8 years of recovery, I have sobriety. I have freedom, and I have a lot of gratitude. And along with that gratitude comes an overwhelming sense of peace and serenity in my life that I haven't ever really experienced before.
I had lost or never found who God had made me to be. And so by coming through Celebrate Recovery, I've realized who I am in Christ, not in the world, and it's just changed my whole world. It's changed my family and myself.
So when my mask finally did begin to come off, people loved me for who I was in there and who I am in there.
I would describe leadership at Celebrate Recovery as an honor, as a privilege. When I came through the doors, I was very broken. I was in a bad place, and to be able to give back now to other people who are coming here in that same condition is really, really an honor.
I want to invite you to celebrate recovery. I know that you feel like you have no hope, like you have no purpose, like everything is out of control, and honestly, it probably is. Because right now, you're the one driving and steering the bus, and it's about to crash. But it's time for you to take your hands off the wheel, to come into fellowship, and to make Jesus Christ your higher power, to say, God, my life is unmanageable. I am utterly powerless.
Celebrate Recovery is a 12-step recovery program where you could go and you can attend, and I will go there with you. And you will experience a non-judgmental atmosphere. No one will condemn you. No one would think that you are some kind of unusual person. You'll be accepted for who you are. You'll be able to learn and understand what it means to begin recovery, how to get sober, how to stay sober, how to stay in recovery. You'll learn about what accountability is. You'll just be able to make someone in connection. You'll be able to make a connection with people who understand what you're going through and who can identify with you and are empathetic to what you're experiencing, and where you can have a support system that I know I need.
What makes Celebrate Recovery different for me were two things immediately. One, they were unabashedly proud that Jesus Christ was their higher power. And with that comes a certain amount of confidence, because there's biblical principles, the Beatitudes and Jesus' teachings and His words and the stories about His life. And that kind of has an inherent strength to it. So when you put your faith in a living God and to the examples of what Jesus did for us here on this earth, that brings a strength to that program.
You can expect to be touched on a Monday night. You can expect to be changed if you keep coming back. It may be gradual. It may not be a lightning bolt fall off the horse experience, but there will be change. There will be hope. You'll come and we'll fellowship together. We have a meal together from 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 8 we have worship and either a testimony, which is just someone sharing their story of what Christ has done in their life, or a teaching. We have an awesome teaching team. And then from 8 to 9 we break into small groups that are gender and topic specific, and we have a group for almost everything. We have a group for purity, depression, anxiety, addiction, codependency, the list goes on. There's a place for you here.
We're doing life together, and that's so incredible. After those small group meetings, though, we usually get back together. There's maybe some coffee, some drinks, and then there's always usually a dessert or something. And it's a chance to just fellowship and talk to people, exchange phone numbers, and look forward to seeing you next week kind of thing. And as I got through that routine week after week, I looked forward to each of our parts, like, oh, I know what's next. It's just so part of a great Monday night for me specifically is knowing that it's predictable, it starts on time, and it ends on time. And so I know that from that block of time, from dinner starting at 6 until 9 o'clock, it's going to happen in that order, and it's going to be predictable each week, and that makes it also a nice, safe place to come and experience recovery.